ladies and gentlemen, may I have your kind attention, please? We're about to begin with our event, requesting all our wonderful guests to kindly grab your seats and settle down. I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin with our event, requesting everyone to kindly settle down. Also requesting our wonderful guests to kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode. Thank you. All right, salam, namaste, vanakkam, and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Samina, your host for today, and it is my absolute pleasure and honor to welcome you all on behalf of Flipkart. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure all of you all will agree when I say that over the past week, the internet has gone into a complete frenzy over what's big on Flipkart. I mean, there are so many questions out there, right? What's big on Flipkart? What could possibly be so big that it could make King Kong look small? And what could possibly be so big that Flipkart would need a brand new, bigger cart, right? So it's been a whole week of questions and only questions. It's been absolutely exhausting, exciting, and I think curiosity levels are sky high. So don't worry, today is the day we'll have all our questions answered, and bringing us all our answers, we have with us Mr. Ajay Veer Yadav, Vice President, Mobile and Large Appliances, Flipkart. A big round of applause for him as he joins me on stage.
Thank you. Thanks, Amina. A lot of familiar faces, a little down still. So let's say before the afternoon is over, sorry, am I loud enough? Actually, this is a question I ask in every meeting. Then I say, the way I speak, actually the mic is not needed. But thank you for coming. It's a pleasure meeting you guys, ladies, gentlemen. Quite some time since I actually met you. One promise that I give you before the afternoon is over today, you'll actually be wondering how many announcements and how many headlines will you be putting in the newspapers tomorrow. But thanks again. Just gonna take maybe 5 minutes to talk about some bit about Flipkart, some bit about what will come over the next 6 months. Flipkart, the journey, I think you guys are familiar with Flipkart. We started about 10 years back. Mobile phones, everyone, whenever I talk to you guys, you always say, if I was to generally ask a question, the number one leader in the mobile phone industry, the answer would be Flipkart. I'm sure even, you may have a few issues about what the number would be, but nobody in the industry, ever doubts that when it comes to mobile phone retailing, the number one retailer out there in the market is Flipkart. What has led us to this place? We were the first ones to actually introduce affordable smartphones. If you just go back about 6 or 7 years back, a particular phone with a particular feature set would be available for a price point of, let's say, 100. Once Flipkart started making inroads into the mobile phone market, the whole price dropped. So when we say we made smartphones affordable in India, fundamentally we are saying for the same kind of features, for the same kind of power, processor, everything, once Flipkart entered into the arena, the prices started dropping, and that's how we made mobile phones affordable. That is what has led to our growth in the market. The second piece, I'm sure most of you actually have a Flipkart app on your phone. When you go into the mobile section, I actually challenge you, every 500 rupees, you'll find a perfect fit for your budget. So the whole selection game that happens in e-commerce, again, Flipkart pioneered it for mobile phone. We start at about 3,000 rupees, 3,500, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, and going all the way up to 50,000 rupees, you will have a phone that you can select from. The third, of course, is, again, if you go back 7, 8 years ago, the brands that are, let's say, the powerhouses today in the Indian mobile industry, many of them were not even present in the Indian market, and Flipkart had the privilege of actually working with these brands and helping them build in India. Almost every single brand of scale that has been built in India, in online, has been built on Flipkart. And we're extremely proud of our achievement. We're extremely privileged that those brands gave us that opportunity. Just to put the number in context, 1 in every 4 phones sold last year, smartphones, happened on Flipkart. In the Indian retail history, there has never been a retailer of this scale in almost any industry. There have been big brands, but never a retailer. If India sold 100 phones last year, 25 phones approximately, and the reason we say approximately is, then we'll get into debate, was it 25, was it 24, was it 26? But approximately 25% of all smartphones sold in the country last year were sold on Flipkart. The first time a retailer has ever done this. Just a brief snapshot on, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the mobile industry. The industry grew by, somebody will say 10%, somebody will say 14%, but nobody in the room will say the industry grew by anything more than 15%. Okay, we've all been in the smartphone industry, we've been watching the trends. Flipkart, year on year, last year, grew by over 60%. That's where we are as a mobile retailer. What's the journey from here on? And actually, that's the interesting point that I want to talk about. That's probably one of the reasons why we invited you here. India's biggest mobile retailer, 25% share of the smartphone market. Where do we go from here? This is something that we've taken up as a challenge. See, a lot of times, there are enough newspaper reports that talk of digital India. How digital India will make things better, how people will transfer money, how they will talk with each other, how the whole infra costs will come down. Instead of people traveling, they would actually be doing everything online. What is our role in this one? When we look internally, we are also a corporate citizen of this country. We are saying, can we actually take on the challenge and say, from this 320 million, that's a total installed smartphone base in this country, and I'm being liberal. I'm including all the phones which are more than 3 years, 4 years old. Can we add another 100 million smartphone users to that base? That's when the whole digital India story starts happening. Because with a feature phone, there's only so much you can do. You can talk, yes, it's a great thing, great use case from a battery point of view. But it's when the smartphone goes into every Indian's hand, that's when the digital India takes off. So internally, we call it, and this is the first time we're actually announcing it to press, 40 by 20. Flipkart aims to be 40% of the smartphone market by 2020. Just to put some numbers on the table, that is equivalent to adding another 100 million customers to the smartphone industry. How will we do it? Some parts I'll be able to talk about right now. Some parts we will see over the next 3 or 4 months. We'll be meeting very often, this much I promise you. Local innovations, that's always been the core of Flipkart. When I say local innovation, the first part was, how do we get brands that can actually give us the price point? We got those brands into the country, we got the price points down, but that was not the end of it. Every single city in this country, I can almost take it up as a challenge and say, you think of a city and Flipkart delivers there. Think of a city, any city that you can possibly think of right now sitting in the room, and Flipkart will be able to deliver a smartphone within 2 days out there. You have a problem with the phone, Flipkart has tech visits to actually help solve those problems right in your home. It's not just speed, it's not just the coverage, it's not just the help that you need after you buy the phone. Flipkart has been working a lot harder, even on the affordability side. We met in the past and we've spoken about it. No-cost EMI. In a country of people where only 30 million credit cards are there, how do you provide EMI options to customers so that instead of buying a phone at 5,000 rupees, the person can actually buy a 10,000 rupee phone? A person who wants to buy a 10,000 rupee phone, how do you provide them an opportunity to buy a 25,000 phone? So no-cost EMI, again, a Flipkart innovation in online. Buyback guarantee, where I actually tell you, when you buy a phone, I tell you exactly 9 months later, I will buy this phone back at this predefined value. Again, an innovation. So a lot of these innovations have actually taken us to where we are. That's 25% of the Indian market share. But this is a big step. 40% of the total smartphone industry, online, offline, by 2020 will be on Flipkart. Just to put this number in context, the total penetration of e-commerce in mobile phone is 30 to 35%. You can take your pick in between that. Flipkart is saying we will be bigger than the total online share of the mobile phone market in the next 3 years. That's 40%. That's one part of the many announcements that we'll be doing today. How do we go to 40%? We're announcing a tie-up, and we'll talk more about it with ASUS. We'll be talking more about ASUS as we go through the afternoon. But for people who are not familiar with ASUS, actually I'm sure you all are, a technology powerhouse, more than 3 decades of experience, PCs, high-end monitors, internal components, phones. Last year, if you followed ASUS, almost every single thing. So which company actually introduced 2 front and 2 back cameras to the Indian market, or to the world actually? ASUS. Which company actually brings the latest chipset to the market? ASUS. Which company introduced the first Tango phone? That was the Google project. Again, ASUS. So we'll talk a lot more about it. Flipkart, of course, you are aware of where we are, what our vision is, where do we want to be. 100 million customers to be added. Some part of the journey, that's 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, I've already spoken about. Let me just give you a brief sneak preview of what does that and more mean. See, our growth has been driven by fundamentally changing the ecosystem. When people said phones could not be this affordable, we worked with brands and made them affordable. When people said no-cost EMI is only eligible for credit cards, we changed and challenged it, and we made it accessible to people who do not have a credit card. When people said that buyback guarantee could never work, it never works in India, we actually challenged that whole thought process and introduced buyback guarantee. That and more is something that we will connect again at the end of this month. Let's just say we would fundamentally, every time you buy a product, you find a word limited. Limited warranty, limited coverage, limited this, limited that. We're saying, can we actually work closer with our brands? Can we actually pioneer the whole unlimited experience? But more on that later. We'll be in touch with each other to talk about 40 by 20. Right now, I'd like to invite Kalyan, CEO of Flipkart, to talk about the next 100 million customers. Because without those 100 million customers on board, this journey ain't happening. Kalyan, if you could come on board and talk about the next 100 million journey. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I need the clicker, I think. Thanks. Yes. Actually, we should be proud as Indians to have 1.3 billion people in the country. We are among the biggest domestic markets in the world today. It's one of the biggest assets we have as a country. Our internet user base today, it's anywhere in the 350 to 400 million range. And in the next 3-4 years, we'll actually be at about 660 million consumer internet users. At that time, we'll actually be where China is today, very close to that. India is an unorganized market in general, and there is a general belief that the retail industry in India is unorganized. While that is very true, more than 90% of the country is unorganized when it comes to retail. However, people don't fully realize that retail is not the only sector which is unorganized. Payments is unorganized, logistics is unorganized. Any ecosystem of the retail industry is unorganized. So the opportunity in India is not just retail. The opportunity in India is to organize all of these unorganized sectors. Each one of these are multiples of $100 billion businesses. So today, the retail industry in India is about 600 billion. We think it goes to about $1 trillion in the next few years. However, if you just look at the right side, the e-tail market in India is still very small. This is, of course, a bit dated. It's last year. Right now, we are probably tracking to about 15 billion. That's the size of the e-commerce market in India. Conservatively, we estimate that this market in the next 3-4 years is going to be 60 billion. There are actually a lot of reports which say it could be 60 to 100 billion. We're actually taking the lower end of those for this discussion. So just wanted to give you a flavor of what drives the growth. So from 10 billion to 60 billion, let's say about 50 to 60 billion dollar of GMV gets added in e-commerce in the next few years. Of that, 40% of that is still going to be actually coming from mobiles and electronics. Actually, if you break this down further, from my recollection, 29% is just mobile. So it's still going to be among the most important categories in the country when it comes to dollar value in the next few years. The second biggest is actually fashion. Of course, fashion is actually getting bigger and bigger, and the bigger role fashion plays is that of customer acquisition, but when it comes to pure dollar value of commerce, it actually is going to be the first one here. So this is a very big role which actually e-commerce has played, and I would actually take pride in sharing that this is a big role which Flipkart has played. In 2012, there were 70 million smartphones which were sold in the country. In 2017, it's roughly about 80 million plus. But if you just look at e-commerce smartphones, in 2012, it was 10 million, and right now it's about 50% of everything which is getting sold. So going back to the previous slide where we shared the unorganized nature of the market, this is the power of e-commerce. This is actually organizing all of these businesses categories in India. This is a live example, by far the highest adoption example. And this is not going to stop. Actually, we shared 2012 to 2017, and as it goes to 2022, the adoption is actually just going to increase in multiples. This is 2017 and 2018. So share of customer mind share for smartphones with 3 GB RAM. So it was 55% was greater than 10K, and it's less than 10K is about 45%. In 2018, actually, this is another very big example of how value is being generated. As in, when we go into the future, we are actually able to get better quality phones for a way more cheaper value, a much better value proposition. So Ajay was talking about the concept of affordability in India, and this is the journey of affordability. Actually, even if you extend this to the last few years, this is a very, very compelling argument for the Indian consumer. Phones have actually become a lot more cheaper because the value chain of phones, value chain of a lot of these retail products have actually become way more efficient. A lot of that which gets actually transferred to the end consumer. So I would actually like to invite Jerry, the CEO of ASUS, our long-term partner. We've just announced a very big partnership with ASUS. I would like to invite Jerry to join me on the stage here.
Thank you very much, Karyang and Ajay and the team. ASUS is very proud to have Flipkart as our long-term partner in the Indian market. Flipkart is not only the #1 retailer of smartphones, but also a company who is focused on perfecting consumer experience and services. This common spirit is why our partnership is so strong. For many, I believe we will pave the way for many more great achievements for the Indian market. With the Flipkart partnership, we aim to gain more Indian consumer insights, which will help us to develop the product that best fit the markets. With Flipkart marketing and sales expertise, we aim to deliver the best proposition to the Indian markets. And we want to become the leading brand of smartphone in India. Besides business, Flipkart and ASUS share a vision to reduce the digital divide in India. ASUS will put more resources to the underprivileged students in India and help them equipped with the skills necessary to succeed in India. Our first action will take place on the upcoming National Technology Day. We have already built a long-term relationship with Flipkart, which will drive us work on an integrated manner and grow our business manifolds. Carry on. Let us work together to bring a new revolution and take the India delight to the highest level. Once again, thank you for the partnership. Now, let me show the brief history of our Zenfone success.
We dare. We dream. We believe. In search of incredible is a never-ending quest. The best technology is the one utilized by everyone, and only smartphone to have 4 GB of RAM. It is the dream machine for everyone who loves photography, backed by monstrous, empowering luxury, designed for everyone to enjoy. World's first Tango-enabled and daydream-ready smartphone. The ultimate dedication to our love for photos.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry. Can we have a big round of applause for him? Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thoughts with us and also taking us through the glorious Zenfone history. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure and honor to welcome on stage Mr. Leon Yu, Regional Head India and South Asia, ASUS, to kindly come forward and take us through the legacy of ASUS. A big, big, big round of applause for him.
Dear media friends, all the honorable guests, namaste. Kindly allow me to preview something about ASUS. As a Taiwanese company, we established in 1989. After 20-something years, now we present in more than 60 countries. And our company vision is to become the world's most admired leading enterprise in the new digital era. And thanks to Flipkart, majority of the end users in India recognize ASUS as a smartphone brand. But we actually started the business as a motherboard and a graphic card manufacturer. And we have a variety of product lines, including notebooks, 2-in-1, desktop PC, all-in-one PC, monitors, projectors, Wi-Fi routers, networking devices, servers, workstations, IoT wearable, accessories, and even robotics. And speak about our business performance in a global perspective, we are #1 in motherboard with more than 35% market share, which means every 3 PC in this world, at least one, is using ASUS. We already shipped more than 500 million motherboards since 1989. If we put them together one by one, it can circulate the Earth for more than 4 times. And we are also #1 in graphic cards. We are also #1 in gaming monitors. And we are #3 in consumer laptops. Every year, Taiwanese government will appoint a third-party organization named Interbrand to do the brand value survey for all the Taiwanese company. And ASUS is ranking #1 for 4 consecutive years since 2013. Last year alone, we have won 4,511 awards from all over the professional world. It means ASUS win at least 1 award for every 2 hours in 2017. And Fortune magazine has chosen us as the world's most admired companies for 2 consecutive years in 2015 and 2016. And ASUS came to India to start up the first local operation in 2005. Till date, we have 16 branches with more than 200 service centers covering 164 cities. For the remote areas, we also have pick-up and drop services. And we also have the invoice-free carrying service, which means we do care about our end user, and we want to provide them trouble-free services. Then now, everyone talk about made in India. But for us, what matters most is made for India. ASUS want to bring the best technology with the most affordable price and also the most user-friendly digital product to cater the local needs. More than that, ASUS is also an eco-friendly company. In 2008, ASUS is the first notebook brand to receive the EU Flower certification. In the same year, ASUS also is the first Taiwanese company to win the EPOD Gold Award. In 2016 alone, we acquired more than 31,000 eco labels across the world. We really care our environment, and we want to take our social responsibility. Thank you so much. That's all I want to share with you for ASUS. Now I request Mr. Jerry Shen and Mr. Ka Liang to join us again on the stage for the big announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Jerry and Mr. Ka Liang.
So today's event is actually about the launch of a relationship. It's about the launch of a strategic partnership between Flipkart and ASUS. Over the next few years, to see the vision come through for ASUS's Made for India, and Ajay painted the vision of 40-20. This is going to happen over the next few years. Today is going to be the launch. We will announce the launch of the first disruptive product in the portfolio. It's going to be on the 23rd of April, Zenfone Max Pro. So this is the first of many more to come. Disruptive products for across all price points in the country. So congratulations.
Thank
Jeff.
you.
Yes,
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen. I'd also like to take this opportunity to congratulate the entire team of Flipkart and the entire ASUS team. I think this is going to be a really great, successful partnership, a partnership that we, the consumers, are definitely going to benefit from. I'm going to quickly request our colleagues and our friends from media to kindly step forward for the photo op session. Can I request the photographers to kindly come forward for the photo op session? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Requesting everyone to kindly be seated because the floor is now open for the Q&A session. So if anybody has any questions, you can just raise your hand and we will make sure that we bring a mic to you and you can go ahead and pose your question. We have a question right here. Can we have a mic?
Hi. It's on. Oh, hi. Yeah. Firstly, congratulations on cracking the partnership. What does this strategic partnership entail? Does that mean that ASUS products would be sold exclusively on Flipkart? And is there something more?
Yes, it's a MOU which we have signed for the next few years to bring innovative, disruptive products to the country, and yeah, that is the nature of the partnership. We'll be a distribution partner for ASUS in India. Yeah.
We think the combination is the best plus the best. We have the best in innovation, and we both love the passionate about the technology. And I think Flipkart is the #1 and has the best in the Indian market. So this kind of combination can deliver the best experience to the consumers.
Hi, I'm Trey Chauhan from 10 News. First of all, congratulations for the partnership. My question is for Jerry. Jerry, how you see India as a market for the smartphones if I compare to other Asian countries, for example, China?
Excuse me?
How you see India as a market for the smartphones if I compare to the other countries, for example, China?
Oh, okay. Actually, India is one of the most important countries in ASUS. I view as Indian as our foundation, our platform. So this market definitely is the most important market. We want the partners to have more insight about the consumers. So from the product collaboration, we got the insight. From the marketing, from the sales, from the supply chain, all the way. So we just want to deliver the best experience to the consumer. And this market is the most important market for us.
Yeah, hi. Karan here, Business Standard. Just a couple of questions. Is it an exclusive partnership for ASUS? Are you planning to work with anyone else in the Indian e-commerce ecosystem, or is just going to be Flipkart from now on? Secondly, are you going to bring out any co-branded products? And thirdly, that's for Kalyan, what happens to the Billion brand? Are you planning to bring anything under the Billion brand from ASUS, or is it going to continue a different path?
It is an exclusive partnership. So we don't want this discussion to be about anything else. This is a huge thing for both the companies. As I said, it's about the relationship, about the strategic partnership. So yes, it's an exclusive partnership. So your second question was?
Would you bring out any co-branded products?
As of right now, where we stand, that's not the plan. Yeah, so we will actually distribute ASUS products.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm so sorry. In the interest of time, we're wrapping up the Q&A session. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for so graciously answering those questions. And once again, congratulations, requesting the two of you all to kindly take your seats. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to remind you all of the live streaming that is going to happen. The Zenfone Max Pro live streaming that's going to happen on the 23rd of April on Flipkart sharp at 12:30 p.m. Do not forget to tune in. And also as an extension of a celebration, today we're here celebrating this amazing new partnership. So we'd like to invite you all to the world of ASUS. Today we bring to you the Heritage Zone of ASUS. Right behind you we have a spectacular demo zone where we have some of our best products, our stellar products on display, some of our best creations. So we'll absolutely love it if all of you could join us there. We have our representatives and our volunteers who are going to be giving you a live demo of whichever product you'd like to get a feel of. So requesting everyone to kindly join us there. Following the demo, of course, we have lunch organized for all of you all at the Allure Zone. So requesting you all to join us for lunch. Once again, thank you all for taking time out and joining us on this special occasion. And until I have the pleasure and honor of seeing you all again, this is me, Samina, signing off. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day ahead.
Guys, as you can see, we have a bunch of gadgets here from ASUS. Not just smartphones, we have smartphones. We'll get back to this. But here, I have Rohit, who will quickly guide us what it is. I think so this is a gaming-centric,
Gaming-centric laptop,
high-end.
motherboard for dual SLI graphics.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So it will
top-
support all the top-of-the-line i7
Yes.
life.
Top-notch gaming.
This looks really, really interesting to me. What is this?
This is an external GPU for your laptop, any laptop.
So I can make my average laptop a gaming laptop.
Yes, and this is future-proof as well. You can swap out for a later new-gen graphic cards as well.
So I just pull out my graphic card, put a new one, and I'm good to go.
And you're sorted, yes.
Interesting. Available in India?
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Oh, this is the Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's
Classic.
parked over there.
Classic.
Yes, yeah. This is modeled after the Aventador that was launched in 2007. Cutting edge back in the day.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
11 years.
Yes.
EEPC that started the
Very first EPC, the SO101 with tactile keyboard, hybrid storage, totally
Intel
compact.
Atom, yeah, Intel Atom.
Totally compact.
Yeah, this looks weird.
It's not actually. This is state of the art actually.
Okay.
NX90 powered by Bang & Olufsen speakers designed by David Lewis
Okay.
and blends in with the modern architecture.
Interesting. This is the Zenfone. This is pretty popular in India, I guess.
Yes, this is our most famous Zen book in its lightest edge.
And you get the top end specs with this
yes,
i7.
you can spec right up to Core i7,
Okay.
up to 16 GB of RAM and more.
Okay, interesting. The pad phone
Yes, a phone, a tablet, and a laptop all in one.
was an interesting, very interesting concept when it launched.
Yes, way ahead of its time back in the day.
Okay, this looks like a Zenbo, it says. Some robot.
This is our future from ASUS. This is the ASUS Zenbo.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your home automation robot that will help you around your house, manage your IoT devices, look
Sort
after
of
you.
future-proof. If you have
It's
a
your
totally connected home.
yeah.
it'll assist you,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
You want to take a picture?
Can I do that? Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Hey Zenbo, take a picture.
Okay.
I'll be fast.
All
Cap-
right. I will take a photo.
Capture.
Look this way. 3, 2, 1.
Amazing, right?
Interesting. So this is
Our
Tiach.
ASUS Tai Chi.
Okay.
It's got screen inside and at the back.
Oh, so dual
Maybe you're
screen.
working and your wife wants to watch TV or movies at the same time.
Interesting, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, but this was never launched in India though. Yeah.
This is your gaming, I think so, desktop, all in
Yes, yes. This is our compact ROG G20 desktop, totally VR ready,
one. Okay.
totally portable.
So someone wants high-end gaming, this is the one to
Buy
go.
this, it's spec'd with the latest
What's
CPU.
the graphic card? Graphic card.
You can spec this up to 1080 Ti NVIDIA.
Okay. This is something I've seen earlier, just in photographs. This looks massive, and this is for very high-end gamers.
Yes, this is
and
a
it's
beast.
supposed to be very, very expensive also.
Yeah, it is, it is. And your cars may have a radiator, but our laptops too. For unparalleled gaming.
So this is for the hardcore gamer.
Yes, it's totally water cooled. A water cooled laptop. Can you imagine that?
Wow. So this is a different module. This disconnects.
Yes,
and
it's a dock that allows you to dock in for more performance
Okay.
when you're at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this also looks like a gaming laptop,
Yeah.
but a lot smaller than that one.
Yeah, the totally opposite. It's got the same kind of performance, but in a small form factor.
Okay.
It sports NVIDIA 1080 Ti.
Okay, interesting. I won't ask the price.
Okay, let's skip to the next.
This is advanced router, I guess.
Yes, our AC 5000 series, if you put this in a mesh, you can get up to 5000 Mbps inside your home.
Okay. So if you have other ASUS router, it'll create a mesh network.
Yes, 4K gaming, smooth audio, video, gaming, yeah, all together.
And this is your all-in-one, I guess.
Yeah, our all-in-one PC, and looks like the Zenfone 2. If you see.
So i5, i7, all.
Totally up to i7 back in the day, and totally wireless,
Okay.
no clutter.
Okay. So yeah, this is your gaming monitor again, a 34-inch. What's so special? I have a 34-inch LG monitor that does 60 FPS.
Well, the name has to say ROG.
So specifically, I am assuming refresh rates.
Yes.
Okay.
You
So
can
what?
boost this up to
what?
200 hertz
Oh.
and G-Sync.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Again, I won't ask the price. So yeah, we have Dinesh here, and we have some smartphones. Yeah. So these are the smartphones. This is what ASUS, what they have launched.
Yes, so we've been a pretty young company in the smartphone market, launched since 2014.
Okay.
But we've launched a host of innovations in the industry, which are like first to the industry as well.
Okay.
And now they become kind of mainstream. So we've kind of displayed a range of innovations that are there from 2014 to 2017 now.
So we have the Zenfone 5, but guys, this is not the latest Zenfone 5. This was the original that was launched.
Correct.
It came with what, 2 GB RAM or
Correct. This was the world's first smartphone with 2 GB RAM. And at that point of time, we were naming our phones with the screen size. So this was the 5-inch phones. It was called the Zenfone 5 at that time.
Okay.
And now we've got the generation, which is going to come in, which is the new Zenfone 5 as a generation of 5s. Yeah.
I think the Zenfone became very famous because you were the guys that released the first 4 GB RAM variant.
Correct. That's right. So here it is actually.
This 2, right?
Yeah, it's the Zenfone 2, which was the world's first
Okay.
4 GB RAM phone, and did very well in India as well.
So
And
these were running Intel Atom processors.
correct, that's right.
Okay.
And then Zenfone 2 laser onwards, like you would
Selfie,
see.
yeah, these were like
are-
Qualcomm. They moved to Qualcomm.
Correct.
I think the Zoom was still Atom, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's right. Zoom was still Atom.
And this was actually a little bit special because you had optical zoom on this.
Correct. This was the world's first 3x optical zoom phone, which is with a different kind of a system, a mechanism for proper optical zoom in a vertical format. And you had OIR optics, so you get really good pictures with this phone, and it's the slimmest 3x optical zoom phone at that point of time. Otherwise, optical zoom products were really thick. So we really, bought optical zoom in a very, very slim form factor.
And from this onwards, I see. Then you moved to Qualcomm chipsets.
Yes, that's right. We've been on high-end Qualcomm chipsets. So like Zenfone 3 was the world's first phone on 625 processor, and Deluxe was the first phone with 821 processor. So we had top flagship Qualcomm chipsets coming on it. And as you know, Zenfone 5, which is going to be launching, is again among the pioneers on the Snapdragon 845 as well.
So the Zenfone AR, this one is interesting because this one has Tango support as well as Daydream, if I recall.
Yes.
Was this officially launched in India?
Yes. And in fact, it did very well post-launch. And it's almost like sold out every lot that we bought into the country. So there are specific enthusiasts who buy the AR, they understand the technology, and go for this product.
Interesting. Then we had this one. Now, okay, today, like you guys invited me, I thought you guys would be launching the Zenfone 5. That didn't happen, but you announced a new smartphone.
Yes.
That is the Zenfone Max Pro.
Yes.
But I don't see that here either. They just announced the name, okay?
Yeah,
That's
so we are going to be actually launching Zenfone Max Pro on 23rd April
So at least
at
we know the
12:30
date,
p.m.
Okay, 23rd.
Yes.
And via Flipkart, I guess.
Yes, it's going to be starting, it's going to be available exclusively on Flipkart. And watch out for it at 12:30 p.m. It's going to be an amazing smartphone with many firsts in the segment, and it's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, like the device looks actually interesting. But one question that I also had in my mind before coming to this event, I thought you guys would be launching the Zenfone 5.
Yeah, but Zenfone 5 also launches very soon. Zenfone Max Pro is the phone which is made for India.
Yeah.
And it comes with, again, Snapdragon 636 processor. So it's going to be an amazing introduction. We start with Zenfone Max Pro, and then we soon move to Zenfone 5 as well, shortly thereafter.
So guys, as you can see, Zenfone 5 is launching. We don't know the date. I asked him, when? Can you tell us the date?
Very soon is all that I can say. At this stage, watch out for it.
So, but we know the Max Pro is coming out on 23rd. So let's see. If you guys send me a review unit on time, I'll definitely try to review that. So let's stay tuned. So guys, this was a very quick video. Just wanted to showcase what ASUS had. It's not just smartphones, but high-end computing, Wi-Fi, networking equipment, and a lot of stuff. So guys, stay tuned, and hopefully I'll also be covering the Max Pro. And let's see when we get the Zenfone 5 also in India.
Yes, very soon. Thank you, Ranjit.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.